So here we are at Aachen 2013 3-star in the start box, ready to fly out down to the first fence. The first fence has actually got quite a big drop on it, and it's got quite a sharp turn after it as well. So you can see here I'm just drifting slowly over to the right hand side. So I actually want to jump it on a slight right to left angle to give the horse a good turn. You see it get my upper body back there to get a good landing. And then we've got a bit of a wriggle around through the camping area of the driving. So over to the right is all of the driving people and where they camp for the week, as we turn left-handed sharp round to the second fence, which is just a hay cart, nice big wide oxer to get the horses going. And then we've got a bit of a long gallop up to fence 3. Got to do a bit of a bridge crossing here, which actually some of the horses take a bit of adversity to, especially seeing it's on a turn there. So we've got over that bridge there, and then you'll see me now just check my watch. There it is there. And so I'm coming up to my first minute marker. When we get to this road crossing here, that's where I want my minute marker to be as we approach the third fence. Again, just another plain, simple fence, nice and big and wide as it expected Aachen, but quite easy. Now our fourth and fifth fence are both on top of the mounds. We've got an owl hole on top of the mound, and then it's 6 strides, and if you're really clever and count these strides, I actually put 7 in there. You can see the horse fighting for his head a little bit as I put a 7th stride in there. He's only a little horse, so I had planned on doing the 6, but I just held him up for the 7 there. Now we've got to fly on down the hill left-handed around to the first water jump. Now this is our first real test on the course. So we've got a trachina on a turning line, on a turning 5-stride line into a big log drop down into the water. So you see land, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strides. And now here I was being a little tricky, and I'm staying right over to the right where most people would stay to the left of this string, and I'm going to do this on a turning 3 strides, 1, 2 and 3, and actually walked a really long 2 strides, but because my horse is very small, I decided that I would go from a right to left angle over that first brush and do a turning 3 strides, the sort of thing I'd always do on I Know Nothing. So certainly using my experience on him to know that that sort of thing is possible on these horses that are small and nippy, because the really long 2 strides would have been a real struggle for this horse, and you'll certainly see at the next water jump where I didn't stick to that same shortening plan and nearly came unstuck because of it. But we've got a lot to do before then. We've got a long uphill gallop now before we turn right-handed back on ourselves at the highest part of the course, coming to a big step and log. It's very similar to what we see at badminton actually, and with that we had the owl hole there this year, but this is a ditch in front of a big step up, bounce distance to a very big log. So it's a real imposing and real bravery question for the horses. So you can see there, jump up, bounce straight away over the log, and a big drop on landing, and then you've got half a dozen strides on a turning line to an arrowhead, then an even narrower arrowhead 3 strides later. Really happy with the way my horse jumped that. Now we've got to go around these driving obstacles and around some of the black flag obstacles of our own jumps, our own course, over to this wide oxer. Sail over that, and again pick our way through all of these obstacles that we've either just jumped or that are black flag alternatives. We've got to head on back down the hill now to a couple of galloping fences along the way here. We've got what we call a brush oxer and a turn here, so we've got to pick up our stride now as we're turning onto the track of this fence. There it is, nice forward shot. I'm really happy with the way I rode that. Got that on a really good forward distance, wasting absolutely no time at all. Again, galloping downhill. Now this fence is one that was softened this year. It's got a table over this massive ditch. In previous years this has been a big open ditch and brush, but somewhat softer this year with a table on it, and then even a little bit of brush on the takeoff side, which stops the horses looking down in underneath at the ditch. You can still hear I really rode him strongly at that, just to make sure he didn't look down at that ditch, and got up over that big wide table fence. Now we've got to turn to this arrowhead hand. You could go inside that little tree there on that bit of a hero's line, and then tight line here, and I actually went a lot wider than I wanted to there, and I fitted an extra stride in there. So I did that in 7, so I was really annoyed at myself for doing that, because I thought I'm really wasting time doing that. I wanted to be the tight line on 6. Some of the really big horses that do that quite easily on 5 strides. But got there on the 7th, so now I'm thinking, come on, I've got to get really fast to this. So I actually rode a bit quick into this, a bit quicker than I would do. One stride over the ditch, and then here I'm turning, and then I just couldn't see my spot. So you've got those double of brushes there, which you're supposed to do in one stride. I was a bit worried about it because it's a really long one stride, but as I turned him on top of the mound, he just fought with me and didn't really look at the jump. And I thought, right, I'm going to have to go long. And you can see I'm still taking all this way around here. It's just such a long way, and I've wasted a good 30 seconds because as we go across this road here, so this is the road crossing that I just went across there. This is where I should be on the 5-minute mark. And you see on the clock there, I was at 5 minutes 30, so I was a good 35 seconds down on time there. So you can see here I'm really pushing him on, lots of hands. Come on, mate, you can go. And he puts his ears back, trying to go faster. And now we've got to swing out right-handed. Before we've got to take a blind left-hand turn through this woods here, over a bridge. So they're also going to be really trusting to keep the speed up there. Then we've got a massive big fence on top of a really big mound. Don't want him going too fast over this. And then back down the hill on 5 or 6 strides to a big oxer down the bottom there. Did that really nicely, really happy with that. Now we come up to the next water jump. Now this is a 1 stride distance between 2 logs, and now 3 really forward strides to a boat in the water. And now here's where I got it all wrong. We got the 1 stride nice at land, 1 stride there, and and he's put a 4th stride in. Oh, totally not to plan. You can see I was yelling at him the 3 strides. I was counting the strides. I was really determined to make him go in those long 3, but actually he was very determined not to go in the long 3. Chipped in a 4th stride there, got all over the place and climbed all over that boat in the water. So, you know, real miscommunication there, but I can see he still jumped for me, so I gave him lots and lots of pats. Then we've got a double of corners here. That caught plenty of people out, but not this horse. Really easily through there. Now you've got to wriggle your way up through the trade stands. This part is really difficult to keep them galloping through these really busy, confined area of the trade stands. Get up into the main arena. It opens out. Got to wind your way around these massive show jumps that the pure show jumpers jump. And now we're coming to the last water jump. So this is the last test. Now they put all these DHL boxes out here to make us take a really tight blind turn to this massive drop into the water. Big fence in. You can see, because I had a little bit of a mishap at the water jump before, I gave him a bit of an encouragement with the stick to get into that water confident thing. Nice and forward at this big box edge. You can see he had to really reach over the back of that. That's a really tough question for this little horse, and I was very happy that he just popped over without any trouble. And there we are at the last fence. Push hard for the finish line to try and regain some of those times that we've lost in the long route and a few other places around the course. So really happy with that round. Definitely the toughest track this horse has ever seen. So you can see I'm getting lots of pats, and certainly very happy with our homebred stallion Wickstead Didgeridoo completing one of the toughest cross-country tracks he's ever seen to date.